Hi, this is Dimitri Bilgir, author of Gateways to God. Remove your roadblocks and live His love. And I'd like to talk to you today about a trap that a lot of Christians fall into, and truthfully, you've probably fallen into it too. But the good news is, once you see the trap for what it is, you never have to fall into it again. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with the phrase, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And that's really what this is about, because for Christians, we notice if we have bad intentions. If you're having bad intentions to do something, be vengeful or go out boozing or something, you probably notice that and say, oh yeah, I shouldn't do that. That will turn me away from God. But what we don't notice is the situations where it's our good intentions that start to turn us away from God, or at least how we respond to them. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. So, in order for your good intentions to start to turn you away from God, two things have to be present simultaneously. First, you have to have a desire to be loving and or responsible. And secondly, it has to seem like trusting God and trying to be loving and responsible isn't working. So if you want to be loving, you want to be responsible, and you're doing your best to be that way, and you're trusting God and it's not working, at some point we will unconsciously say, okay, God, I got to handle this myself, I guess. And we'll turn away from God and go at it ourselves. That's the road to hell, paved with good intentions. Let me give you some examples of that. Like, for instance, I know a woman who wanted to be a good mother, right? That was her longing. That's her loving, responsible self, wants to be a good mother. And her child was having a lot of behavioral problems. And she was trying to be patient and loving and work through these behavioral problems while trusting God. But what she found happening was it didn't seem to be working. She was trying to be patient, trying to be good, and trying to trust God, but nothing seemed to be getting better. And at a certain point, unconsciously, she had the thought, well, you know what? It looks like trusting God isn't working. I want to be responsible. I want to be a good parent. If I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to jettison God here and just go at it myself and start yelling at my kid and going crazy or doing whatever it takes, going nuts. And then maybe after I get this problem nailed down and resolved, then maybe I can go back to God. Now, we should have good intentions. We should. We should be motivated by them. We should want to be responsible and want to be loving. Yes, that's great. And we should trust God and try. But you need to learn to notice when that moment's coming up, when you're trusting God and trying and you're not getting to where you want to be yet, where your brain or Satan or whatever is about to tell you, hey, you know what? Trusting God and trying isn't working. You need to just rely on yourself. Right? Because if you can see that moment, you can say, all right, I'm not going to listen when that moment comes up. And you can see that moment and say, oh, I need to go back to God even more at this point. I need to confess to God my neediness. God, I'm so needy. My heart's breaking with the fact that things aren't going the way I want. Please help me. What do you have for me? And you can return to God and be renewed in that broken place rather than turning away from God to follow your good intentions. And if you have a hard time returning to God, I've got at the end of this video, I'll give you a link to a mini course that will help you actually get in touch with God and feel His love more fully for you. So that's what I wanted you to see, because as Matthew 16:26 says, for what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his soul? And as we go forward, trying to be responsible and trying to be loving, we need to keep our soul. And the way we do that is we go back to God when it starts to feel like trusting Him and trying isn't working, to have our soul renewed. And if we can do that, we'll be in a much better place to help build His kingdom here on earth. Now, I said a moment ago that I'd give you a link to a mini course that can help you feel God's love if you have difficulty with that. And that link's on your screen right now. It's a video mini course that I did about how to feel God's love for you. Some specific Bible-based steps that you can start using in your very next prayer time to connect to His love more fully. And if this video has been helpful to you, please, I want to suggest that you email the link to a friend who might be able to use it, or share it with people at your church, or share it on Facebook or some other social network so that more people can get this information. So I want to thank you for watching, and until next time, this is Dimitri Bilgir, signing off.